Hey everybody, Mike Gillespie here from 3 News, and I am sitting alongside the spokesperson for Flatiron Dragados, the New Harbor Bridge project, somebody we've checked in with a whole bunch over the last year or two. This is Lynn Allison, of course, and Lynn, thank you so much for agreeing to come sit and talk with us for a bit. Obviously, we're talking about the New Harbor Bridge. A lot of excitement going on and a lot of folks in the community asking questions about it as we have seen that thing come together. And as we know that we're getting near a completion date. Since the last time that you and I spoke, you had a big announcement, though, about a ribbon cutting. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you for having me. We love updating the commuters through your network. We are excited. TxDOT announced a ceremonial event that will be a public event coming on May the 10th. Details are still evolving for that, but the details will come from TxDOT soon on May the 10th to celebrate opening the new bridge. Now that is a ceremonial event, and we can talk more about commissioning the bridge to commuters and opening to traffic.
And you say ceremonial, so we can expect a lot of politicians and people who have a stake in the bridge are going to be here for that, right?
Sure, certainly. State leaders, community leaders, we hope that we can have as many folks turn out to commemorate the bridge as possible.
I spoke with the governor the other day, and by the way, that sounds like me name dropping, and I really am.
I saw it.
I spoke with the governor, and I asked him, I said, do you plan to be here? And he said, I plan to be there for the ribbon cutting. So hopefully his schedule will allow him to be here as well and see the end of this project. Now, as you mentioned, that's a ceremonial thing. The bridge, though, have you talked with anyone about a date for when the bridge will actually be open to commuters?
Sure, and I get this question often. So celebrating the bridge and commemorating the bridge is different from commissioning the bridge. So we will commission the bridge open to traffic soon after that ribbon cutting event. The reason we cannot open it that day is because it requires a significant traffic switch to open the new bridge to traffic, to connect to our new South Interchange and North Beach. And we have to be very mindful of ongoing community events that could be impacted by those closures. So it'll be soon after. The details will follow. It will be in May, open to traffic. And like I said, details to follow, but we have to be very mindful of the ongoing Buck Days activities. We don't want to do any of those closures associated with fully opening that bridge to traffic until we have we can thread the needle around certain community events.
Okay, but you just told me something that I did not know. You're still talking about the ribbon cutting May 10th and opening the bridge to traffic in May.
In May.
In May, okay.
Correct.
Well, see, there you go. There's your first scoop right there. Sometime in May. As you mentioned, there's a lot of stuff that has to be done even after the bridge is open. I mean, it's not like we open it up and everybody walks away, right?
Absolutely. We have so much going on right now, from housekeeping around the project, 6.5 miles, 10 acres of project that we're working in, ongoing painting, traffic illumination. We will continue tweaking and installing, running mock trial testing of the aesthetic lighting. Everyone's asking about the programmable colored lighting. That too will not come on initially when we open the bridge to traffic, but again, soon after, with kind of a ceremonial announcement for that as well. The key is to get it open to traffic safely, to have all the traffic lighting, road lighting, traffic open, all the drainage installed. Some painting will continue beneath the bridge structures, final details around the connectivity, but we will open to traffic in May, and there's a lot of moving parts to get all of that connectivity, from installing barrier rail to installing the pedestrian fencing. We have 2 types of pedestrian fencing for the shared use paths. One of them is 10 feet tall at the higher elevations over the bridge and over the ship channel, and then some of that is 55 inches tall, so ongoing activities to install that pedestrian fencing. A couple of more details. We get questions often on, once you open the bridge to traffic, will the shared use path open to traffic? Yes, or to pedestrians.
Shared use, you're talking about the ability for folks to actually walk up the bridge, right?
Correct.
And there's like a little observation area up there?
The pedestrian route, and for bicyclists as well, will partly open once we open to traffic up from the south side of the bridge to the midway point. We cannot continue that shared use path until we finish the final connectivity on North Beach for the final US 181 alignment. The shared use path will not open the day that we have our ribbon cutting ceremony. Again, that will open partly when we open the bridge to traffic.
Let me ask you about something, because folks are wondering what I'm holding in my hand here. This is actually just one of the cables. You know, we see all the cables, the white looking cables, that's actually surrounding several of these in each one. And in each one of these, I counted, I think, 7 other little cables.
7 fused pieces of steel.
Yeah,
correct.
this thing doesn't move. I mean, and this is what's kind of holding that span up, I guess.
100% supported by stay cables. There's almost 1,700 miles of this epoxy-coated cable within these stay cables on this bridge.
1,700 miles.
That's the distance from driving from Corpus Christi to Washington, D.C.
Wow, that is amazing. So, and this stuff, I can tell you, this is solid stuff for sure. So I can't imagine all of them together in the amount of weight. And you guys, of course, the engineers take all that into account. And that's why folks should not worry about safety. I mean, they've been through this before, right?
Absolutely. And as you witnessed a couple of weeks ago, we get questions often of who's going to be the first person to drive over the bridge. I drove over the bridge yesterday. I know that's not as cool as, you know, a president or a governor driving over first, but we have constant vehicles traversing the bridge daily, inspections going on, continued survey operations, a lot of final details from resurfacing the bridge deck to a smooth finish with the bridge profiling operation. Continuing to install the lighting. Safety is the highest priority, and that's why we're not rushing to open the bridge to traffic on May the 10th.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Now, what's happening right now? Because I know there's some paving that's happening.
Yes,
a lot of that, right?
We cannot open the bridge to traffic until all of the alignments finished at the South Interchange. Final surface paving is going on up and down IH-37. You can look at some of our drone photos and videos on our website to really see that blacktop finish. Really creates a beautiful driving surface with fresh striping. Along 286 connectivity, the 181 approaches to and from the bridge, all fresh striping. Where there's paving is only up to that abutment, and then of course the entire approach bridge and cable stay bridge is that concrete segment surface.
So much to think about. Okay, I've got another question that we get a lot, and I know you guys do too. What about the current Harbor Bridge? At some point that has to come down. Some have speculated that that'll take months and maybe years to do, but that's not the case, is it?
Certainly. It's all done in phases, and that is a big scope of our work considered as part of phase 2 of this project construction. So once we open the new bridge to traffic, there will be an interim where both bridges are open for 2 months. And the reason we have to do that is to connect commuters heading northbound from Corpus Christi to North Beach to access the aquarium, the Lexington, the attractions, and folks that live over there. We have to keep that open for 2 months. So by later this summer, the old bridge will be closed to traffic, and then we will begin immediately decommissioning that bridge and lowering the center main span by this fall in 6 months or less. So that will come down first over a long weekend. We only have the ship channel closed for a long weekend. However, through the spring of 2026, we will complete removing all the approaches to the Harbor Bridge and all the connecting roadways and other bridges.
Okay, in case you missed that, she just said the part that goes over the port. A long weekend to take that. Are you carrying that out on barges, or
certainly
have y'all figured
it'll
that
be
out?
Lowered by barges. I'm happy to visit with you more about those steps along the way after we get through the excitement of opening the new bridge. It'll be lowered onto a large barge, and then it'll be shipped over to another site to be completely disassembled. But really, we cannot close that ship channel to industrial traffic, as you can imagine the commerce that comes through that for more than a couple of days.
Yeah, and at some point down the road, we'll talk about what happens then to the old bridge and the parts that are, because I know there has been some thought and some conversation about some possibilities there.
Sure.
Anything else you want to share before we close this out?
We're just really excited. Everyone's working hard on our project. We ask that commuters slow down in these work zones. We do have ongoing operations. We have day and night shifts going. Be mindful of construction workers as you're driving in the area. Safety is our highest priority, not only for our structures that we build, but for the commuting public. Back to the old bridge decommissioning, that will be something we're really excited to share with the community as we do that in phases. We have so much interest in what's happening to the old bridge. But right now we're focusing on opening the new bridge to traffic and celebrating that.
Okay, and so May 10th is the ribbon cutting, and then also sometime in May, folks will begin to be able to drive across that new bridge. All very exciting stuff. Lynn, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.